this in a playful way, in a light way. So I'm putting a little bit of pressure on this to drive him back to expose his body shot a little bit more. I'm rotating. Same time I'm stepping, that should be coming. Hi, this is Kevin Ross along with Greg Root, and I'm going to show you a variety of ways I like to set up the body shots. Alright, so first way, I'm going to use my jab cross. What I'm really doing is using this to occupy his hands. A lot of times if I'm punching too hard, it's going to drive his arms down, it's going to get him more defensive. I want him to be a little bit more relaxed. So I'm almost doing this in a playful way, in a light way, just a touching way. And then I'm going to use that to hide the fact that I'm going to his body. Alright, so an important aspect of this is being able to step as you're extending this hand. So to him, it should look like I'm standing out here just throwing this cross. But in reality, what I'm doing is I'm setting this body shot up, getting nice and close to that. Okay, so here with the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, here. Occupy their hands as I'm dropping down. If you can, I'm using this to almost open him up a little bit. So I'm putting a little bit of pressure on this to drive him back to expose this body shot a little bit more. And I'm rotating in, driving in right through from there. Okay, making sure I'm driving with my legs, generating that power with my hips and my shoulders. Okay, not just reaching out and extending. That's why I also want to make sure I get in close enough with this. Here, 1, 2. Okay. Making sure I'm balanced. A lot of times people throw this body shot that they're leaning in too far. All right, so even if I land this, I'm going to end up in a compromised position. All right, 1, 2, here. Boom. All right, nice and tight. I should be at that same level I was when I dropped down, not driving up with it. All right, 1, 2, boom, there. Okay, yeah, 1, 2, boom. Now you can also do this going 1, 2, and then stepping, depending on the situation. So sometimes we'll go 1, 2, keep that occupied, bang, or I'm going to step with the punch, boom, boom. Remember, this cross typically is just to occupy his hands to get that spacing that you need to in order to set this body shot up. I'm going to show you how to utilize their jab against them to set up your overhand and then body shot to follow up with that. All right, so I'm going to use my jab to hopefully get him to jab back. As he jabs, I'm going to step into this. So it's as if I'm slipping, but at the same time I'm slipping, I'm coming over the top of that with my cross. But really I'm looking for that body shot. Okay, so this isn't a waste because I am going to try to hit him with this. But what I'm really looking for is that body shot off of that. All right, so one, you got to be really comfortable slipping and parrying and distance-wise, because I'm stepping right into his punch. I'm going right into it. I don't want to lean past it. I want to go right through it, come right over the top with that there. Okay. With this punch, a lot of times we'll overly swing it, and that's what we're going to hit in the top of the head, and you're going to break your hand. So really what I'm doing is I'm punching straight through this. It's coming at a slight angle over the top, but it's relatively straight as opposed to a big loop in motion. So we're driving in past this jab. A way to practice this is just have your partner stand there with their jab out. All right, we're trying to stay as close to this as possible, as if we're driving right through it, and stay as close as we can on this side as well. So we're not looping it too much and we're not catching on top of the head or anything like that. I'm really trying to come right over this, particularly if somebody's not punching defensively sound. They tend to keep their shoulder down a little bit, and the straighter I come right over this, the more likely it is I'm going to hit that jaw. So again, if you just want to stand there like this, I want to be able to step in here, come right over the top with that, and then from that, I have my body shot. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to start with the jab, driving straight in with that. You want to get really comfortable driving straight into a punch, even if that grazes off the top of my head. The more I lean off of this, the more it's going to throw my balance off. So jab here. The same time I'm stepping, that should be coming. Okay, it should be coming ahead of me here. People tend to want to like loop this way back and around. All right, he's doing a lot of the work for you by driving in with this jab. All right, just coming right over the top of that. Bang. Sometimes you're going to end up too jammed up that body shot might not be there, but if I throw this in a good way, that should be there for you. You got options off of that. If not, there's a lot of stuff you can do. So if I end up too close here, sometimes I'm going to use this to step off and create an angle, something like that. Okay, so distance and everything else is going to play into what's available to you off of this. But just nice and slow, boom, bang. there. Just start with that. Boom. So I need to be initiating my punch as he's throwing his own punch. All right, so boom, there, boom, boom, bang. The other one we're gonna do is I'm gonna throw my cross to the body as he's throwing his own cross. All right, so I'm gonna start with my own jab. Boom. I'm trying to initiate his cross off of that. So I'm gonna go jab here. I'm gonna drive in straight through that. Okay, there's two ways you can do this. I can just step and drive as he's doing that, hit that cross. And for backup purposes, I'm gonna keep my hand there in case he throws that wide or something, so I can still parry that. Boom, off of that. All right, it's important to pay attention to distancing here, because ideally what's going to happen is I'm going to be straight out, locked down, powerful here. I don't want to be too jammed up and close when I do this. Okay, so if I'm throwing this jab from here, and he's going to be countering me back with the cross, I don't need to step into this. All right, I'm just here, just dropping straight down into that. All right, make sure when you're throwing punches, straight punches to the body, any punches to the body, you're dropping your level. I don't want to be here up too tall like that. Okay, so I should be looking straight at that shot. Okay, a little bit's okay. I just don't want to be up here tall while I'm doing this, because I'm going to be in a really bad position. All right, so jab, here. Okay, off that, you got stuff. Bang! If you want to. But just getting this first part. Jab, okay? Dropping straight down, not leaning, okay? Like I said, the more you can kind of go into this punch, as opposed to offsetting yourself, the better. So I can attack his punch almost, all right? Instead of just trying to avoid it, I'm shifting my weight to this side, going right at this punch, and I'm able to extend fully. Ideally, I'm completely locked out when he lands this. He's like, ugh. There he goes. All right, guys, thanks for watching again. You can check out my social media at DaSoulAssassin, D-A Soul Assassin, on Instagram and Twitter, or follow Warrior Collective for more information.